record. Okay, so today is April 6th, and I see that in the agenda, I didn't change the date, but this is our quarterly meeting for the Thicket of Diversity, April 6, 2022. And I apologize for not getting the information out earlier, and we'll just do the best we can, and then I'll be able to share this recording with the folks that weren't able to be here. So we'll do, I can see by who's on. We have Terry Wolf and Katie Hambright, so and myself at this point, and now we have Matt Pine is joining us, so that's great. So hi, Matt. So hello, Matt.
Hello.
Hello. So we shared the minutes by email, and I don't know if you had a chance to read over them. And if you have any corrections, I don't know if I printed it, but we shared them by email. So would I have a motion to approve?
I move. Katie Hambright.
Okay, and a second?
I second Matt Pine.
Okay, Matt, we have any discussion? Okay, and if you approve, say aye. And
Aye.
okay, aye. And
Aye.
thank you. And so they're accepted. And I shared in the agenda the bank balance, but that's because I didn't have the financials, but I do have them now. So what we have in the TCQ account is $49,315.41. And the decrease is a result of $9,156 that was paid out to Robert LaRoche on tiger beetle research. It was his first payment. So, so that's why we have $49,315 now. So we still have money available for new projects. We do have a payment. We received an invoice yesterday, and it's the final payment for Dr. Bennett's bee research, and it is $1,141.95. And John Stafford, I've communicated with him, and so Dr. Bennett will get paid. And he does have $2,570 in unspent funds. And so we talked about it. The committee said by email they wanted him to be able to, as much as possible, use unspent money for an undergraduate to identify the bycatch. And I tried to finagle the different line items to see what was left, what was spent, and what was left. And you can add a 10%. I didn't want to add 10%. I kept it under 10%. But looking at that, from what's left, the twig leader could get 500, the undergraduate student contractor 1,000, and then the travel allowance would be reduced to 10,070. He may not be able to use that travel allowance, but we can't just move that category over. We can up the other categories up to 10%, but we can't move the line items. So if you don't mind, I need a motion to approve this addendum so that he can continue using the unspent funds.
Katie Hambright, I move. So move.
And a second.
I second Matt Pine.
Okay, thanks. Okay, is there any discussion? Do you have any questions? Okay, so I was real pleased. He turned in his final report. He turned in his data. He does have a student that has a thesis that I guess is in the final stages. I did see it posted on the internet. And then I don't know if you can see this, but I paid and had this poster printed. And I think I emailed it to you guys. And I'll hang that at the FRS. So Dr. Bennett is really a joy to work with because he's on top of turning everything in. He apologized, he was a little bit late. He didn't have it done by December, but it's all done now. So he's great. The Tartar, Allison Tartar with Muscles has been communicating with me. And she actually came, well, 4 people came and did some research on mussels. They hadn't been able to do it for quite a while because of COVID, but she came. They were going to stay at the Brammer house and the water had been turned off. And she called me at 10 o'clock at night, and thank goodness the big building was open. And so she was able to, they stayed in the big building, but yeah. So evidently, and this is a good thing because I don't want to be responsible, when there's a concern of pipes freezing, the Park Service turns the water off. And Kathy Smith is getting on. The Park Service turns the water off. So I'm glad they turned the water off. That's just something to be aware of if we have people staying there, that might be a need in the winter time. Hi, Kathy. I'm so glad you're able to join us. So I'm talking about some of our research. Mussels came in and did some research, and I did ask for an extension from TCEQ for the leeches research, and no response in 3 months. This is how they are. And I sent an email. Let's see, Randy's getting on. I sent an email this morning to ask, but I'm sure no news is good news. And so hopefully they'll be able to come this summer and do their leeches research. And hey, Randy. Hello. And so Andrew Bennett at the Park Service said that the tiger beetle research from Rice is, he submitted his permits and all that. So that's moving because I was hoping he'd figure the process out. I had emailed him, but he jumped in and all that's going forward. So that's good. Let's see. On the final report by Bennett, we voted before y'all got on, guys, to approve an addendum for the bycatch for Dr. Bennett for the bees. And I did follow up on the TCEQ extensions. TCEQ is, I don't know, it takes a long time to get responses from them. Okay. Do we have any questions on the science committee? Things are moving along nicely. We have a poster I sent, Randy. I sent you an email of the poster. So quality work. So I'll hang it at the FRS. Anything else on the science committee? Just share the word because we still have money. Okay. On education and outreach, we had last weekend, and it was fantastic. Kathy, you want to share what we did with the Champions for Nature since you were there?
Hey, okay, that was through the Texas Sabine Nature's Texas Master Naturalist chapter, coordinated it, and they asked people that had anything to do with nature to put a booth and activities for kids, with activities for kids. And it went very, very well. There was, let's see, the Native Plant Society was there, Big Thicket Association, Big Thicket Trust, Searam State Park, Village Creek State Park, and some of the others had information for people and activities for kids that came by. And it was really well received. I had several comments on people that came by my booth that they were pleased that there was things for kids to do that didn't cost anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was the big thing. The kids had fun coloring and, you know, just doing activities that didn't cost
Touching
parents.
skulls and touching furs and
Yeah.
throwing bugs in a giant pitcher plant, and just it was
Yeah.
just. And Nancy Angel was dressed up as a bumblebee. It was really cute. It was great.
Yeah, they got pictures with Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was so for education outreach, we were able to make some progress there. So that was thanks to the Master Naturalist for putting that on. And so for data management, I've continued working on the website with Jeff Pittman. And I don't know if any of you ever use iNaturalist. Do you use iNaturalist, or have you used that app? So he has it connected to iNaturalist, the website. And I noticed we had 16 observers and 652 observations and 392 species on that. But the last post was August 21. So it'd be nice to encourage folks to use iNaturalist and get more recent posts. So I don't know if it's folks haven't posted since 21 or if the website link isn't updating. I don't know. But that's something that I think we can promote. And on the resources page on our website, we can work at building educational resource links. We have a few on there, but I'm just letting you know. If you have any ideas on free resources, educational resources related to TOD and species, that we can add these links on this page. And then the published papers, I have to, that's always a challenge trying to keep those updated. I need to add Bennett's work that he's put in there. And I don't know who has access to the G drive, and I'm going to keep pushing for that because everybody on this committee has access to the G drive that has all of our Thicket of Diversity information that I've been putting the files with the researcher, their CV, data, financial images, proposal, publications, and reports. So to get that G drive, you just have to communicate with Dale and he'll set you up. And so basically what happened is when I communicated with him, it made a little icon on my computer and I can just click that icon. It's real easy to get into. I just click on that icon, it has a little dragonfly on it, and get that information. So Terry and Kate, you might want to see it. It's really interesting. A whole lot of work has gone into putting that information on the G drive. Okay, on the field research station, I think you guys saw my husband. I recruited him and another friend of his, the Lion, and they went and worked at the field research station and put together all the bunk beds, and Vicky, BTA member, Vicky helped. And so we really got the field research station in good shape, and it's being used quite a bit now. We had Texas State with the mussels. We had American Youth Works, and we have Texas Conservation Corps. So we've got folks, we have folks coming and using the FRS. The challenge is we're required to have it cleaned between usage, and that's a little bit of a challenge to pay attention to who's there and when they leave. And of course, I try and help John a little bit on that. I don't always check it, but I periodically check because he kind of has a lot on his plate. So I've been helping him with that. And we were out of some cleaning supplies, so I got those ordered, paper towels and toilet paper and Mr. Clean, I think. And then after that was delivered, the Park Service said that they had to have something called SDS sheets, which I'd never heard of, for chemicals, to identify every chemical that was in the FRS. And he shared with me some sample forms, and it was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a clue how to do this. So I just went and took a picture of every chemical that was in the FRS, but I only did it in the big building. I didn't have time to do it in the Brammer House. And then I sent it to John, and he knew exactly what it was because he was a chemical engineer, I guess. So he created the notebook, and we just duplicated it at the Brammer House. But I'm going to have to go to the Brammer House and take out some of the chemicals that aren't needed, because there was like a floor stripper that was in the big building that's not at the Brammer. And I just didn't have time. I just stuck both notebooks there. And sometime when I have a little more time, I'll try to get it all up to snuff. But the cover page has to have signatures from the resource manager and even the superintendent, the Park Service superintendent. So all the information is there, but it's just, there's too much information at the Brammer House. So anyway, that was a new thing, park requirement, but we met it. And so the cleaning is a challenge. And so the TOD committee task list, we're still limping along on this. And I don't know what to say on strengthening our committees. I don't know. I have lists of things we can do. I don't know. It's just a challenge. And on the new hire, we really, really, really need to get someone to help with this data. And I communicated with this young lady from Rice that Dr. Solomon recommended. And I think she can work with me, but she can't help until summertime. So, and that's okay. Summer will be here before we know it. And so basically, I guess, like on strengthening, what do you think we need to do to strengthen TOD? I mean, I'm trying my best to keep everything going. We have money. At some point, I'll be able to like maybe get some time and write some more grants. This Recovering America Wildlife Act that is going through it's going through the approval process. There's some big vote today. It's going to bring $50 million to Texas. And TOD fits into species protection. I see a connection there. So I think we can get some money through that. So that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking species, maybe even stretching a little bit to habitat protection. But that's going to be hopefully a big opportunity. What do you guys feel like? I mean, right now we're holding our own considering all the difficulties, but
Well, I think for me right now is, I mean, we have money. I think for me right now is just finding projects to get the money out to.
exactly.
Yeah, I think that's the difficulty right now is we need to find one or two. I mean, we've got, what would you say, $49,000?
Well, we do, but some of it's committed.
Yeah, some of it's committed, but we have
We
enough
can do
for at
1.5
least-
projects right now.
Yeah.
And I have not even done any promotion
Yeah.
to the funders. I haven't done and I have material I could send. I could send a letter and I could send, the accomplishments, the 2021 accomplishments, send that and let them know, and we could get a big hunk really quickly. So that's kind of on my to-do list. It's not too hard to do. I just, I do TOD things in spurts.
No, and that isn't pressure on you. And
Uh-huh.
that's not the implication there. But I
Right.
think that's.
But it is something that I know I can do easily. It's just one of those things on my list.
Oh, no, so I think that's just, we've got a couple projects out there right now. I think they'll start winding down soon. So I think getting another project or two to become
Definitely.
available soon.
And we still, and I couldn't find it before the meeting. It's buried in one of my files. But if you remember a few meetings back, I shared the money that we had for the TOD director. We get $1,300 per project for the TOD director. And we have some funds that haven't been spent. And now we have another $1,300 from the B project that's finished that can go to the TOD director. So we've got some money there, and we did have discussion about it, but it is very clear that it's for a TOD director. That's what the TCEQ guideline says TOD, and I looked it up and I did ask, no response, but I'm almost positive, either maybe BTA could hire a interim TOD director if they don't want to get them tied down, for a, where they're stuck with somebody, and that person could help with data and help with maybe grants and maybe get something through grants to pay their salary. But we do have some money for that. So anyway, so yeah. Well, I know this meeting is kind of short, but we've got a lot going. If you have anything, just talk to me, any ideas. I do encourage you to try and get on that G drive. I think you'll be excited to see what's there. Matt, you need to see what you have on your cell. So see what you might want to add. Okay, anything else? Anything? Okay. We'll just make this one short and sweet, okay? All right. Thank you, folks. And Terry, I'm so glad you're on. Kathy, thank you for being on. Katie, thank you. So,
Thanks, Mary Catherine.
okay. All right. We'll just keep
Bye.
plugging away.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
Bye.